One of the questions that I'm asked quite frequently is, Jeff, how do you find these RV parks to invest in? Well, in today's video, we're going to be answering that question. And I'm actually on the road right now to show you my process of how to find these parks, how to approach the owner, and what to look for. So before we get into that, the big question that we're going to answer is this: how can we, as busy high-income professionals that are juggling a business, we're juggling a practice, we're trying to stay fit, we're trying to stay healthy, we're balancing family time, how can we do all this and still become financially free as quickly as possible? So that is a big question. And this YouTube channel, we're going to be finding the answers. Welcome to my journey. I'm Dr. Jeff Anzalone, and I'm on a mission to help you get to the point that work is optional as quickly as possible. All right, so let's get into RV parks. Why RV parks? Well, I've invested in all types of asset classes over the years, probably the most in multifamily before I got into RV parks. And there's so many different streams of income that come from investing in RV parks versus apartments. You've got people that come in every night that stay over for a day. Well, you can charge them the most. They're just nightly stay. You got people that work in the area, so they're staying for weeks and months at a time. Then you have people that actually permanently live there. So there's different tenants, okay? There's different revenue streams like laundry, there's ice, there's propane, there's, depending on what type of park you get, golf cart rentals. So there's different ways that you can make income streams. That's just some of the ones that we use. Now, the maintenance is a lot less, the taxes, the insurance, the upkeep. I mean, it's so much less hassle than a lot of these big apartment buildings. So those are the main reasons why I like RV parks, plus the growing demand. So the question is this now, how do we find these parks? Well, what we do is we like to find off-market parks, and the easiest way that you can do that is just by what I'm doing. I'm driving around, you know. If you live in an area, just start looking for RV parks. If you're traveling, just constantly scan around. Once you start doing that, they're literally everywhere. Kind of like when I started investing in mobile home parks, they're everywhere. You start looking for that, and your brain scans that kind of stuff, right? So I'm actually driving right now to a park that I saw last weekend that's about 45 minutes from my house, and I liked it. I liked what it looked like. I started doing some research, and the key with investing in real estate in general, not just RV parks, is you make your money on the buy. So if you can find one that, most of these are mom and pop owners, that's the key, mom and pop owners. This one had an antiquated website, which is great. The place looked relatively full when I looked at it online. So again, I want to drive through it and take a look at it. You want to make sure that there's different things that you can do to it to add value, which is going to thus increase the value, which is going to increase the profit whenever you eventually sell, if you want to sell. Unlike if you buy a single family home, that's based on the comps, the price that you can sell it for, buy it for. It's based on what are the other houses in the area, what are they paying, what are people paying. So if you're buying a house for $150,000, well, if one's $175,000, you got one next door that's $125,000, another one's $200,000. So based on whatever the properties in the area are selling for, that's what you could potentially, sell it for yourself, or what you could buy it for. RV parks is different, and it's based on the revenue, the cash flow. How much revenue can this RV park produce? It has nothing to do with surrounding RV parks, which is the reason why you want to buy them, get them a good price, and then add value. And it's the net operating income that's based on that. So this one has an antiquated website. It looks like it's got some things it can do, some minor repairs. It actually has potential to add some sites, okay? So all of these things factor in. So the best thing to do is just, once you find one, then drive through it, which we're going to be doing that, and I'm going to show you here. Once we arrive, we're going to ride through it. I actually looked at some of the reviews, and so you want to figure out what's the draw. What is drawing people to this? Is there a certain are there certain like amenities or something in the area? Is it a vacation spot? The park that we got about a month ago is in Montana, about 1.5 miles from Glacier. Well, that's the draw. People go to Glacier to camp, to go and take a look and tour it and hike and all that. So that's the draw of that park. What I found out about this particular park that we're going to look at, it's literally right off the interstate, right off I-20. It's about 45 minutes from my house here in Louisiana. And what people kept saying is it's a great stopover as they're traveling along I-20 from like point A to point B. So now I know why people are stopping here, so I can actually capitalize on that. And I can improve that. I can use that in my marketing if we're able to get the park. Okay, so that's one of the first steps in doing this. Now, what if you go through all this stuff and you can't buy it? Well, most of the time you're not going to be able to get people to just sell it to you. But if you're not making offers, if you're not looking, then how are you going to do it in the first place? Plus, if you're practicing, you're getting more used to going through this process. So once that you get a fish that bites, well, then you're ready. So what's the first step in doing this? Well, if you go through the park and it's something that you like, well, first step is contacting the owner. Okay, and most of the time you can do it just from calling up the phone number that's on the website, or you can do a Google search, find out who the owner is. And the thing about negotiation or trying to buy or sell something is just start a conversation. See if you can find something that you have in common. Whether they like a sports team or they live in a particular area. In this case, it's Louisiana, so I'm going to talk about, hey, I live not far from me. You want to let them know that you're just a regular person. You're not some sort of broker that's trying to come in and just cutthroat them. You're not some big private equity firm. Because, for my dental practice, if you own a business or practice or whatever, and you want to sell it to somebody that is going to come in. This is your baby. This is their baby that they've probably been working with forever. And you want to sell it to somebody who's going to take the baton, pass the baton to, that is going to improve it, that's going to take care of it, that's going to take pride in it, that, if you have employees there, that's going to treat them right, probably keep them home maybe. So you want to make sure that they understand that from the get-go. Whenever you're talking about selling something or buying something, research shows that the number one thing that people look for is that they like you. You're going to buy from somebody if you like that person. Okay? That's the thing. So build the rapport, start the conversation going. Again, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to sell. But you want to get the conversation going. Once you build a rapport, just say, hey, have you ever thought about selling your park? Or something like that. And that's the conversations that I've had with people. And that's how I started with the one in my hometown, and actually led to more conversations and eventually got her to sell the park. You're definitely not going to do it. You're not going to call somebody up and expect them to just openly sell their park to you. So you get the conversation going. Most of the time, they're going to say no, but if it's somebody that's maybe considering it, they may say, well, I've never considered that. Let me think on that a little bit. And if they tell you no, then you want to make it a point that you follow up with them. Following up with them is the key. Touching base and ask them permission. Hey, okay, could I follow up with you in a few weeks or a month or whatever? Get the permission to do that, and then mark it on your calendar and follow up. And the more of these more owners that you're contacting, the more follow-up and touch points that you can have. Put it on your Google Calendar and just continue the conversation. And it took multiple times to buy the one that's in my hometown. But again, you're getting the conversation going. Okay, so that is what we do. That is how we're, number one, finding RV parks, how we're getting the conversation going. That's why I like RV park. And the more you do, the more comfortable you get. All right, so we've arrived, and this is the process they go through. I'm taking a look at it. Looks like they're keeping up the grounds pretty good. But this is kind of how I approach it. I'm looking at it. It looks like it's quite full. Office isn't open yet, or it may not even be open on the weekend. Got nice big trees. I like the roads. Looks like it's been kept up pretty good. That's a potential upgrade to where you could do asphalt if you want to. You don't have to. I like that it's simple. It's super easy to mow. I like the big pin oak trees. Nice shady spots. I just come through, I just drive through and just take a look. And again, this is a great location right off the interstate. There's a Sonic across the street. There's a crawfish restaurant. There's a Mexican restaurant. There's a gas station. There's a main thoroughfare right next to it. And then you got the interstate, I-20, right next to it. But this is a great park if you're new to start off in. Looks like this is where the owner lives, or the manager in the mobile home. It's got some spots right here. It's like they're not using them, so you can add. You got some spots here that you can add, or they may be potentially used. Do a little bit of upkeep. Got the stuff going on with the fence over there. So not a whole lot that needs to be done. But again, I like it. It's simple. Looks like it's fairly full. Again, this is where people come to stop over as they're traveling. It's got some pull through sites, and it's got this little pavilion up here. I like this little covered area if you ever want to have events or a little band or a little crawfish bowl or something like that. It's got across the street you can see the ice, so that's a potential. We can add some ice here where people could buy. Again, you got a Sonic across the street. You've got this Mexican restaurant, very convenient. You've got an Exxon if they want to get some beer. Got the liquor store. I like it. That's my process of finding them, and then you want to contact the owner and go from there. So best of luck to you, and if you want to know more about how you can continue the process and invest in RV parks, I'm going to put a video right next to this one. See you in that video.